Exterior graveyard, Beer City, morning. The open grave with a dirt-covered Salome inside. Enough dirt to miss her at first glance. Her face turned sideways, lips blue from the cold of the night. Salome shivers. Poor thing. Salome holds her breath, the cocking sound of a gun. Easy, Sal. Please, listen. Shooting me won't help you. Salome turns in the grave, gun drawn. Sand comes off her. She points the barrel up at a squatting Ruby. It'll ease my mind, though. Put it away. You're making me nervous, and you don't want me nervous right now. I count a dozen men coming at us. Salome watches Ruby look into the distance, but she stays on her back in the grave, gun drawn. You want me pretty and bashful when I greet them. I don't believe you. Everyone has been shooting everybody else. Death invites strange allies, and frankly, I've no time for this. Ruby gets up, grabs a nearby shovel. Yep, they've noticed me. Ruby waves in the direction she looks. What are you doing? Stay down. Where's Hatchet? I don't know. Ruby begins to shovel dirt into the hole with Salome in it. Not a word. Dirt lands on Salome's torso. Stop it! What? Shut up. This will save you. Heaps of dirt fly quickly from the shovel into the grave. No! Get up then. Now. And have us both killed. Salome stares. Ruby waits. Sparks fly. Not a muscle moves. Where's Hatchet? Ruby begins to shovel again. Dirt on Salome's lower body. I don't know. I know how to protect her. Like I'm doing with you. More shoveling, more dirt on Salome. She is, by now, much better covered than before Ruby arrived. Hey! Ruby stops shoveling, raises her arms, presents her chest. What remains visible of Salome's buried face, shock freezes. I'm whole. Don't shoot me. I have nothing to do with this, whatever this is. The group of remaining northern Templars takes a good look at Ruby. They're armed to the teeth, some of them wounded, all of them with the giveaway holes in their chest. What are you doing here? What does it look like? Ruby grabs the shovel, goes back to shoveling dirt. I don't know what's worse, the smell or the flies. Somebody's got to clean up. That'll be a lot of graves. Getting a head start, I guess. Some of the men commemorate this reminder of their imminent fates by spitting on the ground or lowering their eyes. You seen the gun? Salome struggles to breathe quietly under all the new dirt. Which one? The one that was heard all the way from here to Mexico? The one must have burst your eardrums, missy. The mercenary has it. How many men? Half of you? The northern Templars assess this information by shooting glances at one another. You know a lot. The man does. Ruby awards the man with a smirk, then stops to shovel and extends the tool to questioning Templar. Care to help me out here? If you promise to make a nicer hole for me. Let's go. The men get moving. Some touch their hats as they pass Ruby for Main Street, and Ruby gets back to shoveling. One big heap of dirt, another. Salome barely manages to turn her head up. Stop. It's all right, Sal. Ruby steps into the grave, right on the mound of dirt on top of Salome, and immediately starts to scrape even bigger heaps of dirt from beside the hole into it. They're gone. If you try to get up, I'll scream. Salome tries anyway, as evidenced by tremors in the dirt, but Ruby shoves a big load of dirt right in Salome's face. They'll come back, and they'll make quick work of an undead woman rising from her grave. Salome spits, coughs, violently shakes her head somewhat free as the grave fills up to the edges with dirt. You're killing me. We both know that's not true. Get me out! Let me! You would never win! Shh! One more reprimanding shovel load to Salome's face. The same struggle ensues, and Ruby kicks down a neighboring wooden cross, holds it over the funnel in the grave, at the bottom of which Salome stares up horrified. Calm down. I told you I'm protecting you. With my help, you will make it. Ruby places the cross in the funnel over Salome's face so that it is mostly covered. No. You can cry for help. I won't come back for a while. But remember that whoever hears you is not your friend. Ruby gets up, dusts herself, for all that Salome can tell from her semi-blocked view through the cross. I am. You will understand. Later. Don't leave me. I'll come back for you, I promise. Ruby disappears from Salome's sight. Please. Exterior roof of Hatchet's brothel, morning. Fawn and Quitley still in opposite corners. Quitley looks worse than ever, pale, blood stains on his clothes. You don't look too good. I can still shoot. Don't worry. I don't need legs. You need blood. Some. The bleeding stopped. Fawn nods. Is it true what they say? About what? You can make people quit? Fighting? Used to. It's not going to help us today. Why not? Only works one person at a time. Sorry to disappoint. Why? Why what? Only one at a time. Is it a spell? A spell? No. What is it? Well, I can't tell you, can I? Why not? I haven't told a soul in 15 years. Except those who were concerned, and you don't want to be in that group. You would have to keep the secret, like the rest of us. That is a spell. Quitley sucks in air between his teeth, takes the point. If that's how you see it, I don't deal in magic, is all I know. We all do. Certainly not. I am a man of faith, lad. And that? Fawn points at the hole in his chest, then at Quitley's. Is a test of faith. If that's how you see it, what else could it be? Goo. Goo? Poison, in your language. That man, if man he is evil incarnate, but it's not a potion that took our hearts. No, we are the poison. He is goo, and we are goo, together. I don't understand. Sometimes they take a pot, and they put a snake in it, one that kills you with its bite, and they put a scorpion in the pot too, and centipedes, any wook with venom, and then the lid goes on the pot. You wait, the wook fight, they eat each other until only one remains. That's the goo. It is powerful. The poison you take from the winner, and the goo itself, powerful, both. Serpents and insects. We are men. People use goo to kill their enemies. Kill them and get their money, their treasures. And sometimes, when they die themselves, they become goo. And then they need servants. We are not his servants. No, we are in the pot, until only one of us is left. Quitley very obviously turns these words over in his head. There is only one man who has control over me. He died a long time ago, for our sins. I'm not an ingredient in a magic stew. Goo is not cooking. Figure of speech, lad. I get your point. Goo is like a curse. Curses can be broken. Would you know about that too? With your goo. You have to pass it on. Oh, by all means, feel free to pass all of this on. Fawn takes his knapsack, reaches inside, rummages. I will. Fawn presents Boswick's sheriff's star, holds the white, bony badge out in front of him for Quitley to see, uneven edges and the word rules etched into it. Quitley freezes, glacially. This is not for you to have. But I have it. You took it from a dead man. You stole it. I don't steal. Well, he sure didn't give it to you. I took it. Taking is not stealing. I never stole a thing in my life.
Sounds like you've taken a lot.
Only what was mine to have in the first place.
That thing, like I said, sure isn't.
You don't know its reasons for being where it chooses to be. Quitley takes this in, then shakes his head. Exterior Main Street, Beer City, morning. Horses on the paddock neigh as the Gatling is pulled past them. The posse advances in a V formation, led by Sampson. All guns drawn, ready to shoot. Exterior Saloon, Beer City, continues. A rocking chair rocks on the porch. Scrambled eggs steam on a plate on the planks. A cup of coffee gets picked up. Exterior Main Street in front of the saloon, continuous. The Gatling stops in the middle of the street. Sampson discovers Boswijk in the rocking chair. He sips on his coffee, smiles, while Carmine and Eel come to the Gatling from behind houses. All clear.
Nothing, no one. Boss?
Oh, they're here all right.
Morning.
Anybody in there if you don't mind me asking? Sampson points at the closed door of the saloon.
Nope.
Obliged. Why would you believe what he says? Didn't say I did. Maybe they're not here. They are. They are, indeed. Exterior Brewery, Beer City, continuous. The far side of the building, hidden from Main Street. Horse shooting Tentler, back against the wall, waves south. Horse feet pound the earth in a gallop. A carriage wheel wobbles dangerously, about to fly off its axle. Fawn and Quitley lie low, pressed against the edge of the roof. They listen. The sound of galloping horses makes Sampson and the posse all turn to the southern end of Main Street, guns drawn. Boswijk stops munching, grin and egg on his lips. The mangled carriage barrels into Main Street. 2 horses, no driver, madness on hoofs. That wobbly wheel defies physics by not getting launched into the stratosphere.
The hell?
The posse lunges away to all sides just before the horses trample them down. Shots are fired at the ruined carriage as it speeds by. The horses barely evade the Gatling, but that wobbly wheel catches one of the Gatlings. Wood splinters, the carriage flips again, sends the Gatling careening. The horses break free and gallop away. From behind the brewery and the brothel appear horse-shooting Tentler and quick Tentler, rifles out and firing. More southern Tentlers appear from the sides. Fawn and Quitley crawl away from the edge of the roof. More and more shots echo through the air.
Here we go.
The shots are heard in here, too. Argyle and Foley block the front door with a desk, then put their backs against it.
But when Ruby comes...
Oh, I really want her to come. That wicked wench owes me. Exterior Main Street, Beer City, continuous. Sampson jumps over the Gatling, takes cover next to Zeke. St. John moves sideways, fires at figures in the distance. Carmine gets hit in the temple, goes down. Cyril lunges to safety behind the side of the brothel. Eel runs into the ghost shop. Down the street.
Get him, now!
Exterior Brewery, Beer City, continuous. Ruby approaches the back door of the building, hears shots from Main Street. She reaches for the handle, is quick to close the door behind her. A stray bullet breaks glass, hits a kettle with a metallic twang. Ruby ducks. More shots heard from Main Street.
Hatchet!
Ruby begins to search while she talks.
It's me. Hatchet, I'm sorry. But I can explain. Hatchet? I have a plan. I can help you.
Ruby eyes the upper end of one of the kettles. Exterior, Main Street, Beer City. The southern tentlers advance on the posse. St. John reaches the porch of the saloon, but Boswijk jumps from his chair, loses the eggs over it, kicks St. John back into the street. No cheating. St. John tries to get up quickly, but horse-shooting Tentler takes him out with a bullet. Samson gives up cover, mans the Gatling, and rat-tat-tat-tat unleashes a hailstorm of bullets on the Templars. Through a crack in the boarded-up window, Waltz sees horse-shooting Templar and others get killed by the rat-tat-tat-tatting. He jumps back from the window. Cyril and Zeke gather behind a recoil-shaken, determined Samson. Rat-tat-tat-tat. He moves the rotating barrel fully across the street like a scythe. A last Templar runs for the front door of the brewery. Ruby knocks her knuckles against the fermentation kettle, which results in a muffled thud that just barely stands out against the gunshots. Ruby walks to the next kettle, knocks, muffled thud.
It's ending, Hatchet. We're not safe. None of us.
A third knock on the third kettle. A different, a hollow sound. Ruby moves a barrel to the kettle, climbs on it.
Hatch!
The sudden change from gunshots to eardrum-bursting rat-tat-tat-tatting alerts Ruby. She looks at the front door. Screams from outside, a meaty bang on the door, then a hailstorm of bullets comes scything through the walls. Ruby's reflexes pull her up over the edge of the kettle. She falls in while bullets ricochet off the kettle. Ruby in a fetal position, in a puddle of alcohol, plus a stepladder. That's all there is in the kettle. The Gatling whirs empty as Samson takes his hands off it, breathes hard, looks at everything and everyone he has mowed down. So does Boswijk, back in his chair. God damn. Eel peeps out from the ghost shop, sees Cyril and Zeke behind Samson, dares to return to them. When Samson speaks, he still looks at the corpses in front of him, not in his men's faces. I'm sorry.
Had to be done, boss.
Eel reaches Zeke. Samson draws his gun. Yes. Has to be. Samson shoots Zeke in the torso. Once, twice. Then Eel. Cyril staggers back a step or two. Samson only waits if Zeke or Eel still move. They don't. Boswijk has a good laugh on his porch. Cyril stands flabbergasted. We'll fight. We'll take out every single one of them until there's no one left but us. He looks at Cyril like a quizmaster. And then we'll shoot it out amongst ourselves. I promised it. Civilized. Fair and square. Is there a tear in Samson's eye as he defends himself? Only works in a duel. And 4 men is not a duel. Cyril watches the pools of blood grow under Zeke and Eel. 2 men is. I have a number too. While we're at it, Cyril and Samson turn to Boswijk on the porch. Have a guess? Samson walks closer to the porch. Cyril trails him. What? What's the point? It's 6. 6. Exterior roof of Hatchet's brothel continuous. Phone and Quitley on their backs. They listen. 6. Shit. Boswijk grins, rocks in his chair, cleans his clothes of egg remains. Chop chop, fellas. Foley sees Cyril and Samson through the window crack, sees them look straight at him and draw their guns. No, no, no. Exterior Main Street in front of the brothel continuous. Boarded up. We're sitting ducks, and have been for a while. Not a shot. Wouldn't waste a bullet either if I was holed up in there. Interior salon in Hatchet's brothel continuous. The men now all by the window, Theodora and Jasmine huddled in one of the chairs. They're talking. What are they talking about? They think one of them is in here. There is. Not me, a dead guy. But it's only them left. How do you know? Because they just stand there in the middle of the street.
What are they looking at us for then, huh? I don't like this.
Exterior Main Street in front of the brothel continues. Samson thinks, then gestures at the Gatling. Your turn. As Cyril gets behind the gun and points it at the brothel, Samson gets ready to shout.
See this? You better stop!
Thumping and scratching comes from inside the brothel. Soon the front door opens, slowly.
It's me! Don't shoot!
Waltz limps out of the brothel, arms raised. He stops just a few steps out.
Waltz? There's no one in there, boss.
The hell there is, Waltz.
None of... you. I mean... dead people.
Who?
Just 2 girls. 2 men.
I counted more girls, Waltz.
Hatchet isn't here!
The snake girl was in there too. Shot him just like we did.
Both of them.
Where are they?
Not in here.
Out with you, now. I don't like talking doors. Interior Brewery, Beer City continues. A soaked Ruby swings herself out of the fermentation kettle. Out with you, now. I don't like talking doors.
No!
What? Ruby walks to the brewery's front door.
Get out, damn it!
Exterior Main Street in front of the brothel continues. The front door of the brewery opens behind Waltz. Samson sees it, draws his gun by reflex, shoots at the door. Ruby hastes back inside the brewery, leaves the door open. Phone stands, rips the lid off of the box of grenades. Samson, gun in outstretched arm, makes for Waltz and the brothel's open front door.
Last chance.
Plonk. A grenade at Samson's feet. It rolls in the dust. Samson looks up. Waltz takes a step back. A dud. They tend to do that. Catch him grenades. Against the sun, Quitley stands on the roof, strikes out. Shoot! Drops a second Ketchum grenade, right down to where Samson stands. No, dives away, just... The trick is to make them land perfectly vertical, or the cap won't ignite. In time before the grenade explodes and knocks Waltz off his feet, he lies bloodied. Phone grabs a grenade from the box, turns, drops it from the roof. Quitley takes turns with him. Another explosion, close by Samson, who scrams. Another dud, plonks halfway to the Gatling. Cyril jams the Gatling up, but it locks out below the roof. Argyle pulls the front door shut, ducks behind it. An explosion blast makes boards fly off the windows. Ruby crawls back to the door, dares a look down Main Street where Boswijk rocks in his chair. Samson shoots at the brothel's roof. Cyril rat-tat-tat-tats at the upper floor, turns it into a cheese grater. Exterior Graveyard, Beer City continues. In the filled grave, Salome cries to a faint rat-tat-tat-tat. Another grenade explodes and so close to the Gatling that Cyril falls off. Quitley throws a grenade to where the Gatling must be in the street, turns to Phone, extends an open hand, but Phone lifts a forbidding finger, shakes his head, tilts it at the almost empty grenade box. Salome stops crying, puts on a grimace of utmost physical exertion, relaxes, tries again, makes another effort plus grimace, and lifts her neck a little. A grenade drops in a perfect arc, but Samson catches it like a falling baby before it hits the Gatling. Cyril gets up, stunned more by Samson's feet than by the blast that struck him down. Samson looks like he can't believe what he did either. Applauds Boswijk in his chair. Phone still in his warning pose, but Quitley kneels. A faint echoes up to the roof.
Too far away. You don't hit with the nose on the ground.
Splinters and dust in the air. The women and men all kneel, but slowly uncover their ears. Panic in all eyes.
It stopped. They shot at us.
Argyle looks up at the ground floor's ceiling.
They shot at the roof.
Samson breathes heavily, carefully puts the grenade down.
Well, that's a first.
I've seen men smack spears out of their way with their swords, but this? He claps again. I like you. Cyril shoots a jealous look to the porch, but Samson ignores Boswijk, turns to the brothel to shout at the roof. Is that all you got, huh? Come down and fight like men, or I'll make you. Who's he talking to? Someone up there. Samson grabs a wheel of the Gatling. Come on, it can't reach. We gotta pull it back. Cyril helps him pull the Gatling away from the brothel. Boswijk laughs at them. Cyril slips. Get up, mule! And gets up again to move the Gatling, but Samson lets go, walks off like a man who barely holds in a scream to end all screams. I got it! Samson stomps towards Boswijk, draws his gun, points it at Boswick's face. You like me, yeah? Boswijk sits, rocks, laughs again. How about I kiss you on the forehead with... No! But quickly stands up anyway, pulls his own gun, finds Samson far away over the notch. Boswijk sits, rocks, Samson's gun in his face. It's a free country, boy. Watch your mouth, Boswijk cackles. Quickly moves the notch from Samson to cackling Boswijk. Shoot! Or get down! Quickly breathes hard, moves the notch back to Samson. Cyril discovers Quickly on the roof, aims, fires at Quickly, who ducks away. Samson lets out a primordial scream and hurls his gun at Boswijk, who catches it with cat-like reflexes. But Samson has already turned for the Gatling, gets behind it. It still can't reach. Samson aims the Gatling at the ground floor of the brothel, pulls the trigger, and rat-tat-tat-tat. The bullets pierce the front and side of the brothel. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Wood splinters off of chairs. A vase gets pulverized, chips and smithereens in the air. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Continuous, relentless, ear-shattering. Fawn and Quickly lie flat and cover theirs with their hands. Cyril watches hundreds of bullet holes in the brothel's walls slowly form a pattern, a horizontal line, like a belt around the ground floor, a belt of more and more holes. Jasmine and Theodora hug each other on the floor. Foley stands to die in bullet hail. More furniture gets smashed. Argyle cries on the floor. Boswijk leans forward in his chair, smirks, turns one ear towards the Gatling and its rat-tat-tat-tat. He smirks even more. Blood trickles from his ear. Cyril sees a growing hill of shells around the Gatling, and a mad-eyed Samson who won't stop shooting. Loud cracking adds to the rat-tat-tat-tat. The belt of bullet holes around the brothel's side and front wall spreads cancerously and begins to crumble. The roof shakes. Fawn and Quickly stare at each other. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Cracking upon rumbling cracking. The walls above the bullet belt give in. Wood panels break. The top floor begins to collapse into the ground floor. Argyle sees the ceiling come down on him. As the brothel collapses violently, Samson stops rat-tat-tat-tatting. The roof comes crashing down, Fawn and Quickly with it. Arms flail. Fawn tries to protect his head, but breaks his neck. You don't need a medical degree to tell. Quickly falls into a pit of splintered wood, gets impaled on a wooden beam, loses his hitherto inseparable hat, which reveals his full head of hair for the first time. A weirdly bald spot on top of his skull. Circular, big like a fist, reddish. Quickly's skull cap is missing. Beer City goes silent.